And welcome back to Press X for Chromosomes, where I know it's the thing you all have been waiting for.
The kitchen saga.
The continuation of the kitchen saga.
There was a box to the left. I saw it like as I passed it. Okay, I have to be able to... Hello. So, it's January. We have a rigged sink. And our dishwasher... Nah, fair. And that's really about it.
Yeah.
All of our pots and pans, cups, bowls, and plates are in boxes, strewn about our living room.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry, our dining room. And in the kitchen itself. That's where we kept the pots and pans in a box in the kitchen itself, because we were like, might as well.
Yeah.
And so we have that there. And sorry, focusing.
No, I get it.
This is the problem about me telling a story during Crash.
During like new levels too that you're not familiar with. Well, here you go. Well, at least
it's continuing on.
Yeah.
I mean, it did this sometimes as well with like Polar and Pura, so it's
that's
like
fair.
that's not anything new.
Well, that's why I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So it's all in the kitchen. Our landlady feels absolutely fucking terrible because even though it's like it's not her fault, there's nothing
she recognizes
she can do.
the fucked up nature of it.
Fucked up because our landlady is goddamn awesome. I love her so much.
Yeah, fuck all landlords except her.
Yeah, like
but she's not like a really traditional landlord. She doesn't own like a billion properties. It's just this one place.
Right. This is her home that she's been
like
renting out while
it.
she's going to college, and she actually works with landlords or like people who have like really shitty landlords and that kinds of stuff.
That's good.
So she's like, I'm not gonna be a shitty landlord.
I'm not gonna be a shitty fucking lawyer either.
Right, yeah, no, she's gonna be fantastic.
She's gonna be a good lawyer. I almost fucking wanted to ask her a question the other day. I don't remember about what. I don't think it was anything crazy. But it was something that my coworker was asking me about. I was like, maybe
like this sounds a little
well, because I was like, I gave what I knew loosely, but I said take it with a grain of salt. I might be incorrect.
Right,
but also like
interesting.
Less interesting. But I was like, take it with a grain of salt because I don't know if like my information's slightly incorrect because this is like third-hand information.
Right.
And then I was like, in my head, I was like, maybe I could ask this. And then my coworker was like, I'm just asking my lawyer. I was like, okay, that's who you should have asked in the first place.
Right,
but
not
like,
me.
Yeah. Why'd you ask me?
Right.
And she's like, maybe I should ask Scott, who like, you know, my manager.
Yeah.
Maybe I should ask him because he was like a cop once. And I was like,
sure.
I was like, why did you ask me?
Right, yeah.
Like then, like,
no.
Not that I care. I mean, she asked me to like interpret a piece of like letter for her.
Yeah.
And I did the best I could because like, fortunately, I do have a little bit of knowledge due to my dad.
You got a little bit of legalese.
Yeah, well, and my dad working in police for my whole life and stuff. So it's like, it was about like records and shit like that.
Okay.
Because her husband's getting citizenship.
Oh, okay.
So
I did the same fucking. Oh my
God.
God.
I did, but you got that fucking mask. But yeah, he's getting citizenship.
Nice.
And unfortunately had a mild record, but it's like so old. Like, and I was like, from what I know,
fuck
like,
you. What the hell? I guess I have to jump over it.
But I was like, from what I know, like, if it's older than like so many years. It's basically expunged. Like, it's not expunged, but no one gives a shit after this amount of years.
It's like, clearly you haven't done anything within those years. So
and
it's
she was
like,
fine. And she was like, yeah, and everything's been paid and stuff and taken care of on this thing. And I was like,
okay.
And the letter she sent me, I was like, it sounds like it's been closed. So I think you're fine, but I understand over-analyzing it because getting citizenship takes a fuck ton of time.
Yes, and
you're
money.
Finally in the fucking final stages of it.
Right. You don't
so
get
you're
denied
panicked
here.
and you want to fucking make sure it gets done right.
Exactly.
I get it.
Yeah.
Ask your lawyer. Don't ask me.
Yeah.
Literally, when she said, I'll ask my lawyer, I was like, you got one of those?
Right.
Just ask them.
You have one on call?
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why'd you ask me
yeah,
at all?
Kidding. Yeah. So yeah. we move away from the HOA because we're like, fuck you.
Well, HOA also fuck HOAs. I'm just gonna say.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
I'm surprised they did anything to help you. They do not help.
They only did because my landlady was pestering the absolute fuck out of them.
Legality shit.
Yeah.
Hey.
Ooh, God. So yeah. Now we had to wait.
Oh, that's a cute skin. Looking.
Yeah, right? Now we had to wait for the check to come in from the HOA
to reimburse
her so she could get
the new
cabinets.
contractors. Oh yeah, that
to buy the cabinets and the new contractors. Right, right. The HOA didn't do shit.
No, of course they're not.
They didn't do anything. They sat on it for I think like 2 months.
The HOA do anything with money but line their pockets? Are you fucking kidding me?
Right. Yeah. So it took them like I think like 2-ish months for it to even like happen for them because
is this a boss battle?
It might be, yeah. Because it's got them, so I'm guessing it's a boss fight. I'm just wondering if there's gonna be a
cutscene.
Yeah,
probably.
When we load in.
It's taking a while.
It is, yeah.
Loading a whole fucking sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Quick times.
I was waiting for like a Tana level to pop up too, like.
Couldn't solo this one. Let her go.
Fucking Cortex. I like the F in parentheses.
Yeah, right.
Delicious.
No.
Let's make this fun. Give them a sporting chance.
Ooh. Let's see what you mongrels can do as a pack.
I'm gonna have to play everybody.
That's interesting that they fucking are just straight up like, yeah, we've killed you motherfuckers.
Yeah, right. No, exactly.
This ain't no Disney game. Maybe we should do something about this.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's an inverted berry.
Yeah.
I do have control. Okay.
A door between dimensions.
Whee!
Ooh, this is fun.
Interesting.
Interdimensional domination. Something monumentally stupid. Not from our universe. I fly solo.
Hey. I've been waiting for stuff to happen.
It's kind of like the final level almost.
Yeah. Where it's just kind of like showing us everything.
Yeah. Where it's like time to fucking experience everything.
Yeah. I still have them. I don't know if it matters that I'm getting these. I don't have like a counter. Oh, maybe it does.
Whoa! That's hilarious.
Oh my god, that's fucking great.
Are considered pests. Is fit for extermination. Housefly.
Oh, how modern. Tell me more.
Okay, interesting. So, yeah, I was wondering if you're gonna be some bullshit. So yeah, so it takes like 2 months for the HOA to like give us the check back, and the only reason why we did is because the president got voted off because people fucking hated her, and
yeah, she sounded like a piece of shit.
She wasn't taking my landlady's calls.
Oh.
At all. And so I told my landlady, I was like, you want to test the theory? She's like, sure. What do you suggest? I was like, call her from your husband's phone. Because
it's a number she won't recognize.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. And so she was like, that's a good idea. The fucking HOA lady picked up with her husband's number, but not hers.
That's fucked. Also, that's funny because she got fucking got.
Right, yeah. So, yep. The recharge is like almost instant. Whereas it's not in the normal levels.
Interesting, too. They only got 2.
I'm guessing this is going to be several stages.
Quite possibly. It's very fascinating. It's very nice for like a little finale that I kind of didn't expect.
So yeah, after the new person got voted in and took over, it was finally submitted to the... Okay.
I think you are gone.
Yeah. So it finally got submitted. My landlady finally got her fucking check, so she could finally... And
that lady was like, oh, fucking fine, you got me.
And like, the thing is that we'd already had the kitchen planned out. Like, my landlady had gone on like the site where we're getting the
check from.
who we're getting the cabinets from.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that.
And what do I do?
Kill the laser.
Oh, I can. Oh no. Who are you? You're the... Okay.
Is he the upside down?
Yes. It's a little bit more of a...
I think you could probably just jump over those.
I can, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we've done this before. Yes, we have.
I broke the code.
Okay. Destroy yourself on that. Destroy yourself on that. Destroy yourself on that. Whee! Okay. Oh!
Did he just zot you?
He did.
Well, you're at this stage now.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Guess you
so
run
to
the
go
other
this
way.
Woo! Okay. That I need to go down. Yes.
Slide to the left.
Hey, if it comes
And
down to
slide
it,
to the
and
right.
I really need to, I can just turn down the difficulty and, you know, not have lives to worry about.
Phoenix mode.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only reason why I got through
Awakening or Fates.
Fates. The
Fates got hard at some points. I will say their map design was really good, as much as I think the story and the fucking characters were not great.
Yeah, the maps were really fun.
The maps were well designed. Also
Yes.
fucking frustrating at some points.
Yeah.
I'm glad they took all their waifu-ness and went to fucking
God same.
heroes.
Oh!
Okay, well, I guess you're going the other direction
Yeah.
now.
So we finally get the check, and she gets the cabinets ordered. Awesome. Cabinets are on a backlog because pandemic.
Yep.
So, and like wood is very hard to come by right now. So everything is like, you know, now it's just like, all right, now I gotta fucking wait for the cabinets to be built. And all
Now I
this kinds of
understand what it's
stuff.
like to be a peasant.
Right. And so she had her dad come by because her dad is a aerospace engineer
Oh!
to measure the kitchen to make sure. Oh, okay, I hit it right. To measure the kitchen, make sure like all the measurements were right. And to Insanity, that's a game. Okay.
What is it the end? Did we casually beat this on accident?
I kind of hope not because.
We did it! Yeah, we did.
What's the matter? Unable to handle even the simplest of tasks?
Revenge.
No longer have need for our
Thanks, Dingodile.
alliance.
Then, let's plug up these holes.
We might have.
Let's use the machine. Mask power.
Yeah, right?
They look like they were gonna take a shit.
If they had bodies.
Yeah, it's just our excrement.
Yeah. That's what the magic
And
is.
now,
is their excrement.
fuck, it's like Awakening. You're all stuck in the future, like your kids, but not our kids.
Right, yeah.
Now that we've mended splendid things.
Oh.
We can take you anywhere. Anywhere. After we
Cortex is like, I'm gonna be evil again.
you can only get us as far as the culinary capital of the universe. Neon City.
Tana and Coco. New ship.
Man, I thought it was more of a sister relationship.
It is. Yeah. But you know damn well people were like, the hand grab.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. That is far from the impression I get.
There's another island. I would not have.
Yeah, but it's fucking cool and awesome, though.
This is probably like the congratulations victory.
Yeah, like a fucking... Yeah, you're fucking thanks for playing.
Oh,
everybody!
So before we get into this, I want to at least get to like the next chapter of the Kitchen Saga.
Yeah.
So.
We had to concentrate on playing the game.
God. So we get the measurements in. Everything's fine and dandy. Her dad was accurate, you know, because after they submitted the measurements, the contractor, we'll call him Dickwad, comes in and remeasures. Everything's fine. So he's like, yeah, no, the measurements are pretty, you know, on spot. You know, he's like, there's no...
It's not fucking hard to measure, dude.
That too.
It's not fucking rocket science.
First off, it's not rocket science. Secondly, an aerospace engineer did it. Like, come on. If he can build... If he can, like,
he's a girl above your pay grade. Not to be like a dick, but like...
Yeah, just believe it.
I think he's been trained for this.
Yeah.
Measuring, at least.
So the guy leaves. We're like, cool. So now you have to wait. Meanwhile, the old cabinets are still in our place.
Just being slowly disintegrating through time.
Yeah, because we still had the stuff in the backyard. Or on the deck.
On the deck, yeah. Your porch.
And we still had stuff in the living room. So Nicholas finally one day grabbed the stuff, the Detrius that was still in the living room, dumped it on the big old pile of like the stuff outside. And we get a letter from the HOA. And I think it was like to everybody.
Yeah.
Because it was it wasn't like to the tenants in like, you know, this place.
Yeah.
It was
generalized.
You know, yeah, because it was like, we walked around the complex. Please don't have trash on your porch. And I laughed so much. I took a picture of it and sent it to my landlady, and I was like, bet you $10 are bitching about us.
Yeah.
And I was like, she was like, no, the HOA people can remove it because that's their fuck up. And I went, exactly. So eventually they did actually like come by. I think it took like another few weeks for them to actually come by and pick it up. So finally we had like, you know, our porch.
Yeah, like and slightly some area back.
And it was starting to get, you know, like not freezing at night. So my roommate, you know, set up the chairs so he could like, you know, go on the back deck and smoke.
Yeah.
So we finally had our back deck. We had our living room. We didn't have our dining room because, again, that's where everything that we have is right there.
Yeah.
Lovely. And so, what was it? It was last month? So, late June or early July, one of the two. I can't quite remember now. We finally get the notice. Our cabinets are ready.
That's awesome.
So exciting. So we're like, okay, you know, and so the HOA people had rescheduled and rescheduled and rescheduled and rescheduled and rescheduled because of course. So
like my maintenance.
Right. So these people, they were like, okay, we're going to drop off the cabinets this day. We're going to inspect them and install them this day. We're like, awesome. They got dropped off. And then they rescheduled. And then they rescheduled. And then they rescheduled.
Dude. At least they fucking rescheduled. Here's the thing. My maintenance team
doesn't even show up.
They fucking said, we're busy the day we said we'd come over. Always, without fucking fail. They're always never going to show up on the fucking day they say they're going to. Right. And then they are like, we'll come back a different day. But they never actually reschedule. They just fucking leave it forever. And then they forget.
Right.
I don't think it's malicious they're trying to do. I just genuinely think they have shitty practices and they fucking get.
Because it's like, if you have an appointment with somebody, keep it.
Yeah, remake it.
Yeah. And so for like these guys, they were like, oh, yeah, we're just rescheduling. And they didn't, it's like, I get it. You're probably busy with another client. But fucking Christ, could you please?
Yeah.
Like, and I was trying to tell her, we haven't had a kitchen since
December.
Yeah. And she's like, okay. We're going to be here for sure this day to install. And I went, and she's like, we're going to be there as early as we can. You're the only people that, you know, you're like, you guys are the only people on our docket. The rest of the day is completely clear, so we can just install everything that day. And I went, cool. I get up at 8 a.m. And mind you, I'm taking time off work to, you know, quote unquote, be there when, you know, and then they reschedule. Granted, I was able to work with my manager, so I was still able to come in on the days that I'd already called out for it. I didn't waste a lot of time.
That's good.
So it's the day that they said they were going to be there at like 8 a.m. I'm awake because my roommate has to leave for work because he's a disgusting morning person. So I'm sitting on the couch. Yeah, right. So I'm sitting on the couch. It's 9. It's like, okay. And then it's 10. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I call. And she's like, oh, yeah, no, I called your roommate like yesterday and told him that he would be by at 2 because we have other people. And I was like, you told us we were the only one on the thing today. What the heck? And also, I don't trust that because he would have told me.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, she never called him.
Yeah.
Because he had the phone records.
Yeah.
She never called him. And
what roommate? Who did you call?
Right. No, exactly.
It wasn't us.
Right.
Yeah.
So the dude shows up at like, it was after 2. I think it was closer to, no, it wasn't because I could have technically gone to work. So it was probably around 1:40-ish that he showed up. And he had called my landlady on the way there and was like, yeah, we're only just going to inspect the cabinets. We're not going to install them today. Whereas the lady on the phone told me that they're going to do their best to get as much installed as they can, at least like the cupboards.
Yeah.
So that way, you know, the template people, because the template people were coming in 2 days.
Yeah.
And they squeezed us in the schedule for template for the countertops, to clarify.
Yeah.
So they were going to come in 2 days.
Yeah.
So this needed to be done this day.
Yeah.
And so, you know, she was like, yeah, no, just tell him, we'll figure it out. I was like, okay. Tells my landlady, we're just looking at the cabinets. And I went, what the fuck? Yeah. So he shows up and I'm like, very casually, like, so what's going on? Like, we're being told several different things. And he's like, we're just here to inspect the cabinets. I was like, that's not acceptable. We have template people coming in Monday. And he was like, deal with it. And I was like, we were told by the lady who's scheduling you that,
yeah, this is the video you sent me.
This is the video I sent you, yeah. Which technically is on a gray side of legal. But, so I was like, your lady told us to tell you what was going on and you would do what you could to get it installed so that way the template people can come by and get the template on so we could get our kitchen. And he's like, that's not my problem. And I was just like, I'm going to make it your problem, basically.
Yeah.
I didn't say that because I was like, you know, still somewhat timid. Because he got angry immediately.
Yeah.
He was like, the moment.
Also, people get instantly defensive. They're probably in the fucking wrong.
Right. Well, and like, I mean, even in the video, you can see, because when I start asking, like, what's going on, he immediately got aggressive.
Yeah.
And so we have a small argument about expectations. And I was like, we have cats.
Yeah.
You cannot leave wood cabinets on the floor unprotected with cats.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I don't know the next time you're going to be back because you keep rescheduling. So what, am I supposed to lock my cats in my room for the next
indefinitely?
month? Yeah. That's not fair to them. They need to roam around. They need to have more than like 200 square feet to roam.
Yeah.
This place is like 1,000 square feet. They need to move.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't care. That's not my problem. And if I were you, I'd be smart and let me do my job. And I was like,
all right, you said the magic word. Fuck you, buddy.
yeah, I was like, I'm calling my fucking landlady.
Yeah.
Because the moment he said that, I went, we're done.
Yeah.
And because he was like, well, we can just leave. But I was like, I don't want to like tell you to leave because then that's reasonable doubt. You know? Of like, well, they told me to leave, so I just left.
Yeah.
So I was like, no. You are gonna make that decision for me.
Yeah.
So I go to my room, and of course I have my dog with me this entire time because and he's whining because it's Hamilton.
Yeah.
So I go to the room. I see one cat. I don't see the other cat. The other cat loves sleeping on the couch, and I'm like, so I leave the dog and the cat in my room. And I go out there to try to find my other cat.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm frustrated, so I'm moving very quickly.
Yeah.
And he's not on the couch. I'm like, where the fuck? And so I say, where's my fucking cat?
Yeah.
And mind you, because we thought that they were installing everything, the pantry, everything was out of our cabinets.
Yeah.
For a week at that point. All of our food, all of our like cooking stuff, everything was out of our cabinets in the living room. We could not, our living room was non-functional.
Yeah.
So our living room wasn't functional, our dining room wasn't functional, our kitchen wasn't functional. So me and my roommate, we were just staying in our rooms because we were like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
So,
well, and everything's like in everything. Like
right.
you just can't do anything.
Yeah. So I go out there, I mutter like, where's my fucking cat? And he goes, you know what? We're leaving. And he just like left. And so this is me being a little bit petty as he left. I was like, thanks for being the best installers your company has. And he was like, you bet. And I just slammed the door, which caused the mirror by the door to fall. But, you know, it was like instant karma.
Yeah.
It was like, you should have controlled your anger a little bit more, so it's going to fall. And I was like, you know what, that's fair. But that mirror has been invaluable of blocking Hamilton so he can't go places and get into the food that's in our living room.
That's good.
So it's kind of blessing in disguise. So I go to the company that we contracted them from.
Yeah.
And I turn into a fucking basket case while I'm driving.
Yeah.
And I'm calling my mom because I'm hyperventilating. I'm like just sobbing, tears down my face. Because as soon as he left, I called my landlady, and my first words were, he left. And she was like, he left! And then she's like, oh, I'm calling this place right now. I was like, you do that. I'm going to go there physically. She's like, good! So like... So she calls
Everyone's
them.
on it.
Yeah. So she calls them, I'm going there. And I'm like manic. And I'm like, I can't call you because you're at work. And I was like... I can't call Nicholas because he's at work.
Yeah,
and
like
I was
my first week of work probably.
Yeah,
like,
it was. Yeah. So I was like, I can't do that because it's like I was like, I don't want to get you in trouble. And so I was like, who can I call? Because Drea's also at work and I don't have her actual number. We
oh
just talk
yeah, on Discord. Yeah.
And so finally, I'm like, I gotta call my mom. So I call my mom, and the moment she picks up, I'm just like sobbing and I can barely speak, and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm driving. She's like, pull the fuck over, because it was rush hour.
Yeah.
And so
you're gonna
she's
fucking
like, you're
die.
gonna crash.
Yeah.
So we get to the contractor. My dad's meeting me there just as like support.
Yeah.
And we go
well,
there.
obviously they talk down to people too.
Yeah, right, yeah. So we get there, we go in, the lady was very fucking nice. She's like, do you want to go with this other installer instead? I was like, yes. And so he calls. No, sorry. He calls my landlady.
Mm-hmm.
And my landlady gives him my roommate's number. It's fine. He never calls me. He never calls my roommate. So I call him. And this was... Okay, so all that stuff had to happen late June. Because it was the 5th of July I called him.
Yeah.
Because basically what it was... Because I believe the 4th was Thursday? Maybe it was
4th?
Monday. Yeah. What was
4th
the 4th?
was a Monday.
The 4th was a Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, so he came by Friday to inspect the cabinets. And when I told him we have cats, I'm worried about them marking it up. He's like, no problem. Don't worry about it. And so they inspected the cabinets. Everything was fine. And then they recovered them.
That's good.
And I was like...
It's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
Thank you for
Just
being
work
decent.
With me. Yeah. If you work with me, I'm not going to be a bitch. But if you like throw me, like, you know, talk to me like I'm a fucking idiot, I'm going to be pissed.
Well, yeah,
Imagine
that guy
that.
just didn't give a shit too. What a bad guy for the like. He does not do his job.
Yeah. So the guy comes back on the Wednesday after. So that's what the 4, 5, 6th of July. He comes back. They install the cabinets in one fucking day. It takes them, and it was him and 2 other dudes.
Yeah.
And it took them...
Not gonna lie, it can't be fucking rocket science.
It's a fucking condo kitchen, too.
Yeah.
It's not big.
Yeah, why is it so much hassle?
Right. So they're done in like 5 hours. It takes them 5 hours to put the kitchen together. And then they just throw it in, and then they're like, okay, bye. And I was like... Bye? You guys are efficient.
Thanks.
Yeah, but I had to like leave, like, you know, to like go to work. So it's like my roommate was like sending me like update pictures, and I was just like, oh my god, you know. So I get home and I'm like marveling over the kitchen, and I'm like, we can put stuff away. So like we put away like the dishes and the bowls and the cups and the Tupperware. And we got like our spices and stuff back in, and we were so excited. We got rid of like a couple boxes in the living room. We were so thrilled. And then we had to wait for countertops.
Oh, yeah, because it still hasn't gotten done. But
so because they had to get the cupboards in before they could come in for the template. So they come in for the template like after like a week or so. Which is fair. They're very, very busy.
Yeah.
So they come in with a template. Everything's fine. Except they realize that my landlady wants a new sink. Well, they need the sink.
Yeah.
Because they got to, like, seal the sink to install the countertops. The sink doesn't arrive before my landlady goes on vacation over the mountains. It doesn't arrive when she comes back over the mountains, like 4 days later. It arrives 2 days after that. And so she drives it down to Kent.
Yeah.
Which, for those of you who are not familiar with our area, is about like an hour drive south.
Yeah.
So she drives it down to Kent to drop it off and then come back. And, you know, like, she's doing this, like, out of her own pocket at this point because she's just trying to get everything done.
Like, well, eventually it's going to be my kitchen, too.
Right, no,
so,
exactly, yeah. And so they've got that. They've got the sink. They call her and are like, we can install on this day. Yeah. Which is, like, I think it was, like, the 14th or the 15th or something like that. So they come in. They install everything. The sink's not hooked up. So I come home. The countertops are wonderful. No. Sorry. It happened last Wednesday. So this happened 4 days ago.
Okay.
So 4 days ago, and for reference, today's like the 31st. So it happened like last Wednesday. No, sorry. Today's the 30th. Tomorrow's the 31st. Today's the 30th. Happened 4 days ago on Wednesday. I think that's 4 days ago. I don't fucking know. Don't come for me.
Technically.
Sure.
Yeah. Friday, Thursday, Wednesday.
Yeah. So Wednesday we get the countertops installed. It's so nice and happy. We're so thrilled. We start putting stuff on the countertops, and then we're like, the sink's not hooked up though. And so we tell the landlady. The landlady's like, yeah, I think I went with like, she's like, I think either my husband's gonna do it or gonna hire a plumber. And she's like, I don't know if my husband knows how to put in the sink though. I was like, I'll ask my dad. Because my dad has hooked up. Yeah. My dad has hooked up sinks before. Yeah. I've seen him do it. He's hooked up sinks. He's hooked up dishwashers. He's hooked up a whole bunch of stuff. So I was like, I know my dad can do it. So I asked my dad, hey, can you come do this for me? He's like, yeah, sure.
Dude, with YouTube, you can hook up anything now.
Basically, yeah. So he took Friday off of work so he could come over early to, you know, work on it with me.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. I loved it. Yeah. So he shows up. No, sorry. He said he was on his way around noon 15. Because that's when I checked my phone and he was like, I took the day off. And, like, you know, he said that to me at like 8 a.m. I'm asleep. So
yeah, that's fair.
So he's on his way. And I'm like, okay, it should take about 10 minutes for him to get here. Half an hour later, he shows up. And I'm like, what the fuck? He comes walking in with a brand new fucking tool bag. It was like cobalt.
Yeah.
Like 230 piece set.
Jesus, that had to be expensive.
I looked it up. You want to know how much it was?
500.
Actually, half that.
250.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, it was
I saw something other, like a toolkit that was like 500. It was like, fuck.
Yeah. No, they get expensive
for
fast.
like serious fucking people.
No, like, this thing is beefy.
Yeah.
But so like it's. Yeah, so it's basically $1 an item in it, and except for the backpack was like $8 or something.
Freebie.
But yeah. So he comes in,
and you get a free bag to put it in.
Yeah. So he was like, "This is for you," you know, because it's like he's like, you know, you need your own tool set.
Holy shit, that's fucking.
I'll show you everything that's in it. It's fucking nice.
We just got a fucking like normalized toolbox.
Yeah. No, like that's
not
what
like the 2 layers, just one of the ones that like are like its own hat. And it's like a briefcase of
tools.
And
that's what my roommate has. But now we have this, and I was like, what the fuck? Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, thanks.
Jesus, because I know earlier you were mentioning about like how like your parents are starting to pay you a little bit more attention. Yeah. I think that's what my dad is doing. Yeah, because he's realized like that they kind of doted on my sister.
Yeah, kind of fucking brushed you off the side of the deal with your sister. Yeah.
So I think this is like them being like, we miss you, we love you, like here, like we'll buy you stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's nice.
Yeah. So
not the buying stuff necessarily, but the like getting more of a parental fucking presence.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of, it's a little bittersweet because it's like, man, I wish I could have used this as a kid. I wouldn't have come as fucked up probably, but like. Whatever. Right. Better late than never.
Exactly. Yeah. So at least we have a later.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is the
well,
big
that
point
and
too.
At least also we get the later in the first place because sometimes there is still an opportunity for later and it never changes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right. So we get the sink. I show him where all the hardware is. So he hooks in so it has a cold water line and a hot water line.
Yeah.
So he hooks it in. We put it in. We tighten the faucet so that way it doesn't wiggle. And then he goes to hook up the lines The cold water fits perfectly. The hot water line to the spigot are 2 different sizes. So he can't hook it up. And we were like, what the fuck? Yeah. He was like, okay, well, let's try to get the disposal. It has to be like
that could be fucking, it's probably a converter, but still.
It's gotta be. But I was like, why isn't this shit standard? And he's like, depending on when the building was built, like it could have just changed within those years. I was like, okay, fine, fair. And it might also be different sizes too, so that way like you hook it up properly. Like the big one goes over the big one, the small one goes over the small one. Now they're just banded. Yeah. So like the bands like for the lines have like a blue or red on it, you know, hot and cold. So right. So we're like, okay, cool, let's hook up the disposal. So my dad looks at the disposal, he looks at how it's supposed to hook up. So basically what it does is there's a ring that hooks onto the bottom of the faucet. Mm-hmm. So like where the faucet starts draining. It hooks onto that, and above it sits a surface that the disposal hooks onto. Yeah. And the surface has screws that puts tension on the bottom of the sink. Mm-hmm. So that way this is pressing against the ring and the ring holds it tight. Yeah. So that way it can hold the weight of the disposal. Mm-hmm. Our sink doesn't have that ring on it.
What the fuck?
So, and my dad's looking at it and he's like, you know what? This might be a separate thing that you have to, you know, like get now a new thing of epoxy to put it to the bottom of this sink so it can like the screws can sit on that and you can have the ring on it. And I was like, what the fuck? Like he tried to make it work. He was like, maybe it will.
Trying his best. Yeah.
So but the moment he put a little bit of pressure on the screws, it just popped. Yeah. And we were like, god damn it. And so like, because I think that happened first and then we did the lines, because I was like, you know what, it has a food catch, let's just hook up the water. Yeah. So the cold water's in and dad's like, okay, let's turn on the sink just to, you know, make sure at least you have cold water. Because then he was like, you know, then I'll like put the plumbing in and that kinds of stuff. So we have a cup. I'm holding it. And he's like, all right, turn on the cold water. And I turn it on and it immediately shoots all over the floor. And I shout because I wasn't expecting that. And all of a sudden now my feet are soaked. Yeah. And I flip off the cold water immediately. And I book it to my room to like get like towels. Yeah. Because now there's water everywhere. Yeah. And so I'm down there. I'm like, I throw the towels down. And my dad's like, so here's what happened. You have the hot water line and the cold water line, and they converge into one at the base of the faucet. Yeah. But because there's that pressure there, because you don't have the hot water in the tube, what happens is it comes out the top, but it also comes down the other line. Yeah. Dumping it all over the floor. And I was just like,
why is this so fucked? It reminds me of the fact that our fucking or like sprayer thing gets stuck after we use it sometimes, and we don't know how to recognize it past just turning on the fucking faucet and getting a fucking surprise of spray water. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's typically pointed a little bit away from the fucking, so you don't get
soaked.
But I watched it. I turned it on like the other morning or whatever, and it sprayed the fucking the refrigerator, and I was like, what the fuck? Whatever.
The refrigerator had it coming.
Yeah, I was like, I'm glad I was on the way because I was getting ready for work, but I was like, what the fuck? And then I had to like press it so it would like release itself. Right. Yeah. I was like, Jesus, I wish there was a towel.
Right. Yeah. So
I was just like, whatever's hot enough, it'll evaporate. They didn't even bother cleaning it up.
No. Yeah. Because like you said, it's hot enough. So my dad, he's like so sad. He's like, I can't hook this up for you because he's like, I don't have the tools. I'm like, that's okay. He's like, you're gonna have to call a plumber. And
I went, not having the tools, you just don't have the right pieces.
Right. Yeah. That's what I meant. We don't have like the right like items to finish this. Yeah. He's like, you're gonna have to call a plumber. And I was like, that fucking sucks because again, my landlady is gonna be paying out of pocket for all of this. Yeah. So that sucks.
But I mean, it is gonna be her place again eventually.
It is gonna be her place again. So I messaged her everything that happened. Mm-hmm. It doesn't send. But I don't realize it because I'm going to work. Yeah. She calls me at 6 p.m. being like, okay, so what's the sitch? Yeah. And I went, did you not get my message? She's like, no, I just saw that you wanted me to call. And I was like, bitch. So I explained to her everything that happened. Yeah. And she's like, this sucks, but I'll call a plumber. No problem. She's like, I'll try to get somebody out as soon as possible. I was like, that'd be great because I'd love to use the kitchen sink.
One day I'll have a functioning kitchen.
Functional.
I'll also be 70 years old, but.
Yeah, right. You know. Well, we moved out. We're leaving at the end of September.
Yeah, I know. Like, you get a kitchen for like 2 months.
Yeah,
Whoopee.
Basically. Yeah. I might have a kitchen for my birthday. Yeah. So she's calling a plumber, and then she's like, okay, what are your guys' days off? And I was like, well, I'm busy today and tomorrow, and then I'm busy next Saturday. So next Sunday? And she's like, cool. Great. And she's like, roommate, when are you home? And he's like, Wednesday. She's like, I'll try to schedule something Wednesday. We're like, great, awesome. Because I think that's why we were like, have the countertop people come on Wednesday, because my roommate had the day off, so he could stay there the entire day with them.
And he probably has crazy days off.
He's
they get like probably mixed around. All the time.
He's got like weekends and Wednesday off.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, because he's part time, and it's actually a fixed schedule because he goes to school.
That's fucking nice.
Yeah, because he's doing college stuff. So that's basically where we're at with the kitchen.
It's a nightmare, dude.
It's a fucking nightmare. You're
gonna be so happy when you fucking like. This sounds shitty, but you're gonna be so happy when you get into a different place
and the kitchen's
it's
just
like
refreshed.
Not fucking. I mean, there's gonna be some problem, but it's probably not gonna be as fucking arduous as this.
Yeah,
because I mean, like, I had to struggle with the smoke detector, getting one installed for like 5 months. But you know how much it affected in my day-to-day life? Nothing.
Whereas, like, not having a kitchen,
that's extremely affecting.
It's brutal. It sucks so much. And my sister and her boyfriend have like bought a place, and they're like, "Oh, we're remodeling our kitchen. We have to wait until like November, though." I was like, "At least you have a functioning kitchen."
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
You wait. And she's like, "Yeah, but not for like the 2 weeks before, so we can demo it." And I was like, "That's still better than the 7 months."
Send the fucking crying gif I sent you. Yeah.
This was in person, but I was like, no. I just like looked at her, and she's like, that's fair. And I was like, fuck off, dude.
I would have I would have fake cried right at her.
I should have, but she was watering her plate. She wasn't looking at me, and I was just like, oh no, 2 weeks.
Oh no, my first world problem.
Right. Well, and I was like, this is
even though kind of like it's still a first world problem you're in, but at the same time, fucking like, oh my god, please, like, it's just you need a kitchen.
Yes.
To function for the most part.
Yeah. But
I know it's not like
it still impacts us.
But it's still very impactful for like a normal person.
We still don't have our dining room because our kitchen is still not done, so we can't put stuff
average
back.
Person, I should say.
Right.
Yeah.
So we still don't have a dining room. Our living room is functional. It's been functional since the cabinets were installed. But we still have boxes of food on the floor. Because we now no longer have a pantry, so now we're like, oh fuck, where do we put all this shit?
Oh, did they just turn them into more cabinets and counter space?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not terrible.
It's an interesting trade-off.
Yeah.
I think if we had like an actual storage area, it absolutely would not be a big deal. But we don't have an actual storage area.
Well, hey, trade it to my kitchen where it's like
would
no
love
counter space and only pantry.
I love your fucking pantry though.
It's cool, but fucking I wish I had things to put
space.
I wish I had drawers more than 3.
No, I get that. I
got one normal size drawers, and then the rest are deep as fuck, and there's only 2 of them.
Right, yeah,
well, there's 3 technically, but fucking 2 deep drawers, 1 normal drawer.
Yeah.
And fucking ass.
Right, yeah. So no, every single time like we're looking at like a place to rent, I'm always like scoping out the kitchen because I'm like, how much counter space and how much like pantry.
Now you know what you want, basically.
Yes,
and
basically.
that's what the first place is for. That's what the first place is for. Is finding out exactly what you hate and what you want.
Oh yeah, no. That's the fucking cherry on top of this fucking nonsense. This is the first place I've ever rented. This is the first place I've ever moved to.
Yeah, and I'm like,
it's just this nightmare.
I'm having like typical fucking apartment issues, but fucking like nothing like that.
Yeah. Well, and that was the other thing too. When they ripped out the rest of the cabinets, to like put in like the new cabinet, they found more mold.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Yeah, next to the oven. But
spray again.
They did. Landlady's husband came over with like a very strong bleach solution and sprayed it the fuck down. It was gone.
It was like I don't trust contractors anymore.
Yeah. But the mold was that mold actually died very quickly, so that wasn't the problem. Basically, yeah. But yeah, so that's our saga. Hopefully by the next time we play this game.
Yeah.
Or if we finish it, next time we play whatever game that's not Psychonauts.
Yeah.
Theoretically, hopefully I'll have a full functioning kitchen.
Yeah. Hopefully. It's just, I cannot imagine how long this has taken. That's fucking ass, dude.
I know. Fucking 9 months.
Like I said, had a smoke detector problem. I was like, maybe I'll die, but maybe I won't. Otherwise, it does not fucking matter in the grand scheme of things. But fucking like, and not having a kitchen is misery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, would not recommend it at all.
Yeah, 0 out of 10.
All. Yeah, it sucks so much.
1 out of 10 for the novelty in the first week. 0 out of 10 for the rest of the time.
It's 1 out of 10 for the anticipation of something new.
It looks great.
It looks beautiful.
It looks wonderful.
It's absolutely. I love it.
I got kitchen envy when you sent me the pictures. I was like, fuck, man. Ours is so goddamn ugly.
The thing is if the first contractors had stuck by their word, had stuck by the original schedule they had, none of this would have happened.
No.
We would have had our kitchen by Christmas. But instead, they never came back. They never rescheduled until I pestered.
They were feeling the Christmas spirit all about them.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ebenezer Scrooge.
Scrooge McDuck.
Basically, yeah.
Well, that's the kitchen saga.
That's the kitchen saga. I'm sorry it took so long to explain, but Jesus
it's all good.
Fucking
Well,
Christ.
we kind of have to take a break anyway because it's like learning new levels and trying to explain at the same time is
it's not
double brain.
It doesn't go well.
It'd be okay if I was explaining something and
Right,
you're playing
yeah,
the game,
but I'm
like,
playing.
you're double work. I talked barely half this episode.
Yeah.
So like, moral of the story is it's a great place to stop, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode of this, like, probably like with a confetti. I'm assuming it's just like a fucking like
Trophy.
let's experience all the fucking characters again.
Yeah, because like there's like Dino
and Tanya
Dingo's, like,
and then fucking like
Cortex.
So we're gonna fucking play the greatest hits with everyone.
Basically, yeah.
So until next time, bye.